chosen ones, empaths, you see how we feel after a discard, or whether you had to cut them off because they pushed you too far. Either, it's all toxic, and, we feel in that state of mind. And I just remember being in that state of mind, when you're desperate, you feel like you need them in your life, and all you're getting is a cold shoulder. You're getting nothing but a cold shoulder from them, and they're pushing you away, and you're made to feel like nothing. You're really made to feel like nothing, like absolutely nothing at all. And you're declaring your love. You're basically pouring out your heart and soul to this vessel, to this dead, devoid of empathy, absolute, disgusting, despicable creature, and it's easy for me to emphasize how disgusting and despicable they are now, and how devoid of empathy they are now. But at the time, of when you're pouring your heart out, this is your lover. Like, to me, if this is still fresh to you, you're thinking, hey, Zion, like, what are you going on about? They're not there. They're my soulmate. They're my lover. Like, they're someone who I've had good times with. I've still got good memories with. And, you might still have good memories with them, and you might still think you had the highs of life with them, and and you think you're just going through a spell, and you're going to patch it all up and work it all out. But I'm sorry to say that once a narcissist has made up their mind to transform the love energy that you give into a toxic energy, it's game over. I don't believe, because once they don't care, this is what you have to understand. They're soaking up all of your supply that you're dishing out to them. All of that supply that you're dishing out to them. All of the, the love letters, the poems. I'm not saying you're writing love letters or poems, but you're getting to that state of mind where you might be sending them, pouring your whole heart out to them, and you're getting nothing in return. You're getting the cold shoulder. They're purposely doing this to you. Right? And some of us that are further along in our journey can look back at this, right? But they were purposely doing this and purposely moving the goalpost with one thought in mind. And that one thought in mind was to just keep taking until you can't give no more. And they think it's innumerable. They'll think you'll just keep on giving. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But like, they want you to keep pouring out to them, right? And you might start to get frustrated, say, you're declaring your love, we're fixers. Chosen ones, empaths, we're fixers. Put a problem in our way, we'll fix it. We fix things throughout the relationship. They already tested us to see if we're like that. They done temperament checkers when they were with us during the good times, inverted commas. There was no good times. As I've said earlier on in my older videos, I used to say that the lowest point in existence was the best time in the relationship. The lowest point, imagine yourself on a mountain, you're at the bottom of the mountain, and that best time when you was, the love bomb, you were loving them, everything was great, that was your lowest point in existence because you were so asleep. And I'll never stop emphasizing that enough. You were so asleep to the abuse that was happening. That was actually your lowest point in existence. And this most painful time, when you're getting the uncontrollable tears, when you can't eat, when you can't sleep, you're actually at your highest point. And it's just because you've been in such a deep sleep, you don't understand what's happening. But I'm telling you, you've conquered that journey, and you need to embark on a new quest now, your own journey, separate from the narcissist. And I know that might be scary to some of you. You might be thinking, I can't go on this road alone. But I'm telling you, God will pave a way for you. The universe will pave a way for you, and you're going to make it through, I promise you. But I just want to touch back on the early days, these early days when you're trying to fix it, right? they saw that you're a problem solver. Throughout the relationship, they've done little things, right? That it's not even enough to go by. It's not even enough for me to even elaborate on, right? I mean, not elaborate on, but enough to actually like pick up on a point. But they're very good at like body language cues, and they're very good at checking your temperament. So they've done things during the relationship, and they saw that you swooped in. Like that phrase I used, Captain Saverhole, we swooped in like Captain Saverhole and fixed the problem, right? And they thought, okay, they like to fix things. So let me just break things. So they, during the relationship, would cause a little rift, cause a little breakage. And we would swoop in with our cape, Captain Saverhole, and would save the day and would fix the problem. And onward, the sun would set and on to the next day. But eventually they kind of gained enough evidence on you, right? They kind of gained enough intelligence, I should say, on you to say, right, I can actually cut them off now. And if I cut them off, it's going to be so devastating for them. And when I don't allow them to fix it, they're going to become fixated on trying to patch us back together and try and fix us and put us back together. And them in their delusional minds believe that we would stay in that state of mind and stagnation till kingdom come. They believe we'll stay in that state. That's how delusional they are, right? But all of this, and I should have probably mentioned it a lot earlier on, is actually their own projection from within inside themselves about how much they need us. You see, they need us a lot more than we need them. But they don't like the fact that they need us more than we need them. And then the main reason, which I can prove to you why they need us more than we need them, is they survive off our supply. And yes, not just any supply, they survive to the level that they're at off our potent supply. Our supply is very unique. It's tailored to them specifically, that they can't get another tailor-suited supply to that degree elsewhere. Yes, they can go and get other supply. But if you know your value, and I want you to understand how valuable you really are in the sight of God's eyes, right? And that's actually why you were separated from the narcissist. I'll drift off a bit. Beyond the comprehension of you and the narcissist believes it's their games that they done. Oh, I'm going to cause a breakup now. I'm going to make them chase after me. But really, it's God putting them into a delusion and making them think that they're creating this idea. But really, it's a divine intervention being taken place, which is caused by God or the universe, however you want to look at it, which is causing a separation from between yourselves, because you was actually brought into their life by God, and they were brought into your life by the enemy. And it's a spiritual war that's been going on since the time that you met each other. And it was either one side was going to give way. Either they were going to fall into repentance and become a new, better person and form a loving bond with you, or they were going to treat you the same as they've treated previous suppliers, try and drag your name through the mud. But they didn't really take into account of messing with a chosen one and an empath, and how much they're actually going to need us more than we need them. You see, the narcissist needs us more than we need them. And during the relationship, they knew this deep down in the core of their being. They knew that they needed us, right? So they eventually hit the point when, after they've done these temperament checkers, like I've mentioned, where they thought, right, yeah, they're going to try and fix it. They're going to try patch up the relationship. They're going to try fix it. I'm going to go for the big discard, okay? Or I'm going to treat them like so bad, so it's like a reverse discard, so they have to just get rid of me. One or the other, like something like that, right? So they've done this, and as I mentioned previously in other videos, they get a moment of relief. When they're alone, initially, I know that might be triggering to you, but they get a moment of relief. But it's very short-lived. And As long as you pull back, I know you might have reached out and tried to solve the problem. I don't care if you've gone on for months, right? I don't care if you've gone on for months or even years, right, of trying to beg for them back. The moment you stop begging for them back and you focus on your own life, you dig your heels in the sand and you say, you know what? I'm going the other way now. I tried my best and it's good you done that. I never want you to regret trying to solve the relationship. I don't want you to regret that, because you can look in the mirror and say, look, at the time, I didn't know I was dealing with a narcissist, or I was trying to help the narcissist, one or the other. And I tried my utmost to actually repair a relationship and repair that bond for my spouse, for my boyfriend, for my girlfriend, for my wife, for my husband, whatever it is, right? You tried to repair that relationship, and you should be proud of that. Because these lot, in the deepest part of them, actually wanted to go back to you, but they thought, let me just keep ticking them along. Let me keep pushing them away. And they didn't realize it was going to collapse in on them, and eventually you were going to put the door slam in place when you've had enough. This is what I'm saying. If you haven't put the door slam in place, put the door slam in place and go the other way. The moment you door slam and go the other way, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but you're going to hear from them. You're going to get hoovers. You're going to see stuff happening, right? So this is because the narcissist needs us. Now, initially the narcissist will be stubborn and they'll say, fine, I'll go and try and find a new supply. And this is even more why you're going to door slam them, because we can't let them back in our lives. Number one, because if they've gone with other people, there's the risk of transmitting STDs, and narcissists are very promiscuous and they will sleep with anybody and they go for low-hanging fruits. They often downgrade after they go with a chosen one at empath, because it's called leveling. They go back to their level. They go back to that little hole that they come from, and that little, that little dark, dungy, that little dusty corner that they come from, right? They go back to another dusty, right? And we can't allow them back in our life. Number one, because of STDs, etc. Number two, you can't let them back in your life because they've actually harboring spirits now, and they've taken on spirits that they've had from their new partner they've been intimate with. It's very dangerous, and it will be very detrimental for your life, because if you be intimate with them again, you will take on all of that negative energy, and it's a no-go. I'm telling you, if you go back with them, it's a no-go. It's dangerous for you. You need to do some real inner work, some real cutting off soul ties, some real inner cleansing, right? But look, basically, to sum it up, right, the narcissist needs us more than we need them. They act like they don't need us, but really they're dependent upon our supply and our supply alone. You see, knowing they left you in a bad way gives them a supply. So the quicker that you can make it clear, you don't have to tell them, but I mean, just get on with your life and stop reaching out. That will be a significant sign that you're kind of not in a bad way anymore and you're getting on with your life, right? And then your healing begins to destroy them, you see. And this is the whole thing. They're codependent upon your supply. They tried to make us into a codependent those days when we were reaching out, trying to solve it. We couldn't imagine our life without them, this, that, the other. But I promise you, this is a real character-defining experience, right? And you can either let it break you or you can let it make you. And I know that as a chosen one, an empath, God is going to let this experience make you. So take your time. Do your inner work, do your inner healing. Don't rush off into a new relationship just because they are. Take your time and say, you know what? I really need to do some inner work because I allowed a demon in my life and I saw enough red flags where I could have shut the door. But I tell you, don't regret not shutting the door on them earlier. Don't regret it. Because I believe that us as empaths would have felt so guilty and would have been consumed with so much guilt if we discarded them. And we would have never truly knew their true colors. We would have never truly knew who they were. You see what I'm saying? So be proud that you reached out. Be proud that you tried to solve the relationship. And be proud that you didn't cut them off like rashly, like just, in a horrible way or whatever, Like, if you had to put them away because they were abusing you, that's different. But I'm saying you didn't just rush and just say, yeah, get out of here, like, willy-nilly, like, and you didn't discard them in some horrible way, right? Like they done to you. Be proud of that, because if we'd done that, we wouldn't be able to live with ourselves. A true empath won't be able to live with themselves, I believe. I'm talking from experience. If I had actually ended the relationship with the narcissist, which I was going to on several occasions, I already went through the inner mind state of how my mind would be and how I would feel if I'd done that. So I'm glad I was discarded, because what happens is by the time I'm healing, the narcissist wants me back, or the narcissist wants you back. By the time you're on your healing journey, the narcissist starts to want you back. And they might not be reaching out saying, I want you back, but believe you me, in the deeper inner subconscious of their mind, if they're keeping tabs on you, if they're stalking your social media, which they probably are, right, they want you back. So just remember, the narcissist needs us more than we need them. So never give in to the thing of thinking you need them more than they need you. You're not a codependent. They tried to make you a codependent. But I promise you that this experience is very liberating, of spending some time alone, spend time in nature, take time out, work on your healing, work on, focusing on yourself. And don't worry, God will bring a new partner into your life. That's when the time is right. Someone who's loving, someone who's kind. But be aware that there's many counterfeits, which I've ran into several counterfeits after the narcissist. And thank God I didn't go too in deep with them. I didn't get too far along with them, because I had enough red flags to kind of back off on my own way. And I had other things going on in my life by then where I was distracted, like things on my purpose and things like that. So, honestly, it's a real character defining moment. Leave it breaking up with a narcissist, whether you were discarded or you had to get rid of them. It's a real character defining moment, and it's actually sent from God for your character defining moment. So anyway, I hope this video helps. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I have the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. If you want to check that out, the link for that channel is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon.